Dun, dun, dun. Don't go anywhere. You're in the right spot. This is the Doctor's Orders live stream on the Dr. Nick's Amazing Man Stuff YouTube channel. My name is Dan C. Bearded. I am the co-host of this live stream. You're like, Dan, if you're a co-host, there must be another host. That's Nick. He's going through a costume change right now, so stay tuned. We'll see what he has to deliver with the costume of the day. But welcome, you guys, on your way in. If you don't mind, hit the thumbs up. Shows YouTube that we have something cool that's going on here. And if you want to share it out with a friend, we do take a lot of pride in this stream having the ability to have replay value, something you can watch, something you can listen to, and just really enjoy for whether you're working, whether you are taking a shower. I mean, I like to have those shower thoughts, but then also want to be able to like, hey, this is some good content to think about. And today, what we're going to be able to do, you guys, is go over your topics again. Now, this is part 2. And before I go any further, let me go ahead and welcome in the man, the myth, the legend himself. Shout out to Jill in the hat, in the chat. Nick has a hat on. So shout out to Jill here. All right, but let's go ahead and G squared. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Yes. And let's go ahead and welcome in the man himself, my friend, the owner, co-owner, the curator, co-curator of Dr. Nick's Amazing Man Stuff. Please welcome, Mr. Nick.
Why, hello. Hello.
What's going on, sir?
Well, nice to be here.
Ooh.
Good to see you. Nice to see all of you.
Yes.
Look at this.
No, yeah, I said Jill in the hat. Nick's like, surprise. Awesome. And welcome, guys. But on that note, I was talking to Nick before the show. We usually do a quick little like rundown of what's to come and what's going on for the show today.
Emotional vomit sometimes it's planning.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yep. Two-way therapy session. You never know how it works for us.
No.
But Nick's like, what do we have today? Sorry, it's been crazy. I don't remember what we're going over. And I said, we're actually running it back. It's quite literally Random Topics Roulette Part 2. And he was like, that makes sense because people have been asking for it. People have wanted more. And I said, yeah, let's do it. The literal first submission for the topics for today was the one we were not able to cover last week, Marvel versus DC. This was not me. This was not Nick. Somebody, I haven't seen them in the chat yet. I know all the people that submitted, so I see you guys. But
I see you.
They're not in the chat. I haven't seen them comment yet, I don't think. So, yes, we are running it back today. I don't know if we're going to start with DC Marvel because it is a random wheel. And we're going to stay true to it. I got it all set up, you guys. It's all ready. I told Sam about the show, and I was like, my favorite part is the sound. I think it's satisfying and it's fun.
Okay, so here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
If we don't want the villagers rioting with pitchforks and torches, okay? No, are we going to hit that one first? No. And is it going to be in the wheel? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If we get down to the wire and it has not landed on that one yet, I think we need a guarantee of stopping the wheel and doing a forceful insertion of DC versus Marvel.
I'll take that executive order and no veto over here. We will go with that. Yes.
All right. Love it.
I like it. So we will today. Now, I will warn you guys. I do like to talk. I do like to go over some topics and share my thoughts and feelings. Today might be a heavier Nick side of things because some of the topics you guys submitted, I don't know much about. And I'm like, I feel like Nick has some more knowledge. So we'll see. Nick doesn't know the topics, by the way. So
sure
doesn't even get to prepare for them. I do, and I'm like, okay, I want to see what Nick has to say about this.
I screenshotted the wheel as you pulled it up, like any good person does when they're looking at things. But
you would. If you guys want to learn how Nick's brain works, most of you saw the wheel. You're like, ooh, pretty spinning colors. I'm excited. Nick was like, oh, let me analyze. Let me go.
I was like, information must enhance.
Yes. Oh, so good. So yeah, we're going to be doing that today. Question for you guys out there as we start the show. What are you up to right now? Are you at work? Are you getting paid to listen? Are you on lunch break? Are you at home?
PG.
Whatever, yeah, whatever you feel comfortable with sharing. What's going on right now? And maybe some of you spare some details, but hey, that's all right. We'll we'll get to the result eventually here. But Nick, how's I know this is a corny question, but I do really want to know, how is the weather out by you guys like this weekend and into this week?
So, I mean, okay, so part of me really likes it, and then a part of me also says like, oh no, that means fall, and then that means winter. If we're not going to talk about that psychotic piece of me for a moment, it was cloudy, so it looked like you'd want a hot drink with you when you went outside, right? But then you got outside and it was humid. So it was weird, right? Because it looked like fall outside, like the leaves are starting to turn, that kind of thing. It looks like fall. It was cloudy, so you thought it was going to be kind of like, breezy. And then you get outside and your pants that you put on and the hoodie that you put on inside, and you're like, oh God, it's schmutzy out here. It's like it's humid. So yeah, it was weird. It was nice. It looked nice. It was humid, but actually, I guess it was kind of cool because it's like fall weather that you can hang out in flip flops and shorts and a t-shirt in. So in that respect, I actually kind of liked it.
Yeah, ours is about the same. It's like the mornings and the nights have a really nice chill, but then by about this time, like I would be dying with what you're wearing right now. I wouldn't be able to pull that off outside. It's like 75 right now, exactly 75 right now and sunny. So it's like,
yeah, see here, it's cloudy and 66.
Oh, see, I like that much more.
Yeah, it's cloudy and 66, and it has a feels like of 62.
Ooh, even better. Come on now.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be a low of 51. So it's
that's perfect.
Yeah, see, that's what you're talking about chilly nights. It's like 7 or 8 p.m. It's 60, so it's like hoodie around the fire pit weather, a little cloudy.
Hot tub weather. That's it right there.
Oh, don't even talk to me about hot tubs. We have to buy a new hot tub, and I've been procrastinating.
What happened?
Soon it's going to be winter. Oh, it's dead. It's super duper dead.
The motor, the pumps, everything.
No, so it's like, I think this thing has broken in repairable ways enough times to where now the repaired things are now starting to break.
Yep.
I mean, the poor thing's 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's a hot spring. So, I mean, the things do last forever.
Okay.
But I do think that like, I can't really get mad at it at this point for like finally wanting to meet its maker.
Do it, dude. Especially with you guys working out. You got that. You got to have that recovery at night.
We got to have the hot tub back. And I've been looking at some of the new ones. Man, these things are nice.
Yeah, we got one, and I've never had a hot tub before. And we got the Master Spa is the brand, and it's freaking fantastic.
Those things, there's some good. Is it salt water? No chlorine?
So in the end, there is a little bit of chlorine.
Oh, we've talked about this, right? Because in the filter there's some chlorine, but inside the water technically there's not supposed to be.
Correct. And salt water is the same way. Most people don't realize salt actually turns into chlorine is how the whole system works, but it's like not measurable. It's that's a whole thing. So
I mean, you take water and salt and you electrify it and make hypochlorous acid, and when you're done with it, it smells almost like bleach.
Yep, exactly. So we love it. I had visions of the kids really being a part of it, and that hasn't come to reality because they don't really hot tub well. So
no,
it's more so just the Sam and I after the kids go to bed. Just literally like today was legs day. It was hammy and glutes, and my legs. I had to tell myself walking today like left. Okay, right. Okay.
Yep.
Stairs and like the hot tub at the end of the day with that. Stop it.
It's like you got to cross your leg on when you're sitting down. You got to like pull up your pant leg and go like this to get it up.
Yep. Now, hey. Oh, also storms. I hope everybody's okay.
Yeah.
I know this has ravaged a lot of the country. Our guy Moose. He is. They think without he's fine. His stuff is good, but they think they're without water for a significant amount of time and stuff. So yeah, I know there's a lot of craziness. So hopefully everybody's all right. That was around any of it.
Yeah, I bet you're seeing all kinds of stuff floating down the river there, Mom. She's got like, her couch looks directly out of floor to ceiling, 12-foot tall or more windows that just look over a cliff that drops like I don't know, 40, 50 feet, probably, down into the Tennessee River. So, I mean, it's like she has like a, IMAX quality view of a giant body of water as she's hanging out talking to us right now. I bet it's filled with stuff.
Crazy. And yeah, don't swim in it.
No.
Don't swim in that.
No.
I did Florida Man Monday last night, and it was a guy in Florida with the hurricane kayaking in his living room.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Get it.
Right. You got to work out anyway.
Sometimes Florida Man Mondays are about the stupid things people in Florida do. And once in a while, it's about the genius moves that someone like that makes.
Now, I feel like the jealous side piece to Jill. Jill, please plug your ears here. This is not for you to hear. So I'm about to get real petty. But, Nick, I've just been sitting here just waiting for you. And you haven't even said anything yet because you don't even know. You didn't hear that.
Whoa. I mean, wow. I saw you just, I saw you just sort of, fluffing and grooming there, but I didn't quite notice the extent of what I was looking at there.
What are we looking at?
I mean, quite the nice trim.
All right. I thought I got you. Yeah, dude, no. I took off 3.5 inches last night.
Dude, that's a considerable, that's what I was saying. I didn't notice it was as significant as it was until you started running your hands through it. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
So
you know what
Sam
it is though, man?
Sam did the same thing. She's like, yeah, I guess you trimmed. I'm going to post a picture probably after this stream.
And you're like, what
Instagram.
Do you mean you guessed?
Yeah. on Instagram. And when you see the side-by-side, it's like, whoa, you took off a lot. So I was over 15 inches. Now I'm under 12 inches where I'm at right now.
That's under 12?
It is under 12. Yep. Damn, I did the tape measure and everything.
G squared. Wow. Because see, it looks like right at or longer and this is to go with what
addition by subtraction. Yep.
Well, and it's like, it's funny how much length it looks like it has because of the thickness and lack of transparency.
And people will ask Sam, she's like, why'd you do the trim? You were like, digging. Kind of my approach was I was a judge for the Great American Classic. I wanted to go as big as I could for that. I knew that required stretching outside of my comfort zone, and I got through it. I actually was entirely fine with it. Didn't bother me at all. Now, was the bottom as good as I like? No. But was it bad? No. Were there lots of people that would kill to have it like that? Absolutely. Could I pose for a picture indoors and have an absolutely immaculate work of art beard? Yes. But if I'm judging a competition, if I'm out and about in life, what you find out when your beard is longer is there's not a ton of gravity involved. However, when you do have gravity, it does pull it down. I also have shoulders of a man. I also have just like chest muscles and all this stuff that when I live and operate, it pushes the beard in. And when your beard is longer, it goes in and in and in more. And I lost the shape. I lost the density. I lost the thickness. And now it just stays like this.
Yep. And now because it's off your chest, because gravity's not pulling it down, so it's not getting pinched between your pecs.
100%. And
makes
literally,
a big difference.
When it gets in between the pecs, it does what Nick's beard is doing right there. If Nick trimmed at the same spot as mine, his would be just as wide, just as girthy.
Oh yeah.
And you can do it for a picture, but it's just.
So if I sit here and I do this, like, okay, big white beard. And before I take a photo with anybody, by the way, I'm always like under the beard real quick, like
100%.
And I'm like, fluff. Boom.
Yep.
Boom, big beard.
But
then I move around. I go like this. Oop. Let me grab my tea really quick.
And then let me record.
Put it down over here. And then I got to move my mic. Okay, and grab this.
And now it's much more in.
And then if I do that 50 times and you wait 2 hours.
Yep. And so I would go to a comp and my beard wouldn't look the way that it normally does on pictures. I would go to soccer and it didn't look the way that it normally did in pictures. And I just like this better. That's about all there is. I don't have an emotional attachment to length. I don't think that a bigger beard is better, especially after judging the biggest beards I've ever seen in my entire life. They were fantastic, but I did come to realize that wasn't for me. And so,
length doesn't equal quality at all.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Now, you can have both, but I don't think that's me.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I don't have Nick actually like genuinely has at length much thicker beard than I do. Mine thins out more, and it was fine. But I really like where it's at.
I feel like mine, it's weird. I feel like I am coming into like a genetic Goldilocks zone here, because the longer mine's gotten, it's actually gotten, I look back at photos, it's gotten much thicker. Like the density.
Yours has
Yeah.
insanely.
It's
I
weird.
okay.
It's like it's gotten more body the longer it's gotten, which I don't think is always the case.
No. And here's a good example of a topic for today. It's not a topic, but this would be how it would work, guys. Giving compliments based on change. Now, hear me out.
Dude.
Hear me out.
It's an art.
It's an art that no one does well except a handful of people in my entire life history. It is an art. Most people deliver change compliments as a backhanded compliment. They deliver it with leaving the door open to
it's really different, but I guess, it looks good,
Yeah. Well, or my angle actually is
No. I was saying that was a bad example.
No. My angle of the bad example is actually the other end of that, where they go really hard on complimenting the change as a diss to the past. For example, there are people that I love in this community, but anytime I do a trim, they say, "Oh, that looks amazing. Thank God you did that.
So much better.
So much better." It's like, well, they don't need to be mutually exclusive. I can like the before and I can like the after and respect the diversity and the changes and the switch up. If Sam has an athletic outfit on right now, I'm like, "Dang, girl, you look amazing." And then she gets dressed up to go out. "Dang, girl, you look amazing." I don't have to say it looks better. I don't have to say
thank God you got rid of, thank God you took off those workout clothes. You look fantastic now.
Right. And so that does happen with the beard, but it's kind of the same way with yours, with your growing, and it's like your beard has exploded. But you could deliver that in a way that would make it be like your beard before was bad, which it wasn't. And that's absolutely not the case. But your beard, the density and thickness has exploded. But I think it's gone even more with your health journey, where you've dialed in more and more over the last 2 years than you ever have before. And your beard is showing it.
I think so too. I think it's honestly, it's cutting out things I think that used to just cause my body. I think, and I don't know, nothing to back this up that I've read, but I think it has a lot to do with inflammation. I think your hair follicles get pissed when your body's inflamed. And I mean, people talk about in the skincare world, you got to reduce inflammation of the skin to have healthy skin, right? And I think just like you got to keep, hey, Walter, dead on there. I think just like you have to keep, healthy, non irritated and inflamed skin to have healthy skin. I think if you need healthy skin to have a good beard, reducing inflammation over your whole body, I think does have like a drastic impact on hair growth, hair follicles, and all of that.
Inflammation in your body has an effect, and this is one of our topics today. Keep this sentence in mind. I'm going to use impact. All right. I'm choosing the word impact on purpose here, but it has an impact on every aspect of your life, from your brain to your breathing, to your health, to your appearance. I mean, inflammation's one of the biggest concerns in America that no one talks about or realizes.
It's the biggest impactor on your sympathetic nervous system. It's
100%. 100%. So yeah, and learning beard etiquette, and Leo's right here. Now, Leo, there are, and I'll hit on this for a second with a little rant tangent. There are many more layers in Leo. I understand you're limited to characters and you may be aware of these factors. However, let me dive into this real quick. Leo says, when George Bruno, the Sultan of Silver, big white beard YouTuber many people know, cut back his long beard, his subscribers' comments were so hateful that it seems they drove him from the community. In any event, he named Scuba as his successor. All right, number one, I don't know how well that worked out as the successor to Scuba's one of my best friends, but one video every 2 months. I don't know if that's doing it for the community, but bad call there, George. Second thing is, he did get a lot of hateful comments about his beard and cutting it back. However, he led to a whole heck of a lot of those, and we have to acknowledge that.
Oh, yeah.
He bashed many aspects of the beard community. He bashed many aspects of beard care. By the end, in my observations, George Bruno was the guy being like, this is all like, even though he pushed products for a long time, he kind of shifted to the end and being like, no, this is all kind of like made up and pushed for money, and it's an industry. And it was kind of a contradiction on everything he did, while at the same time going into a very aggressive life and relationship coaching that would be controversial. I'm not saying he's right. I'm not saying he's wrong. Literally, you don't have any idea where I think on his life advice, but he was adding in controversy. He was adding in his own negative vibes, pushing to the community while cutting his beard. And many, aka most of the comments I saw in this vein weren't exactly directed at his beard. It was just from people that didn't know how to really articulate their thoughts and feelings. And the beard was the scapegoat, but it was everything kind of wrapped up in a bundle, because I felt it all coming from him. I felt those vibes. And that's a really good thing to like, you guys know I'm obsessed with human psychology and why do we say things? Why do we do this? And I don't think that one was as plain and simple as he cut his beard so he got hate. There's layers to it. And what I was talking about, where people say, oh my gosh, so much better. They mean that positively. They are not trying to deliver a backhanded compliment. They're not trying to be hateful at all. But perspective is valuable. You know, understanding all angles is very, very, very valuable. So yeah, and Leo says he also said his long beard was an experiment, which is not how he set it up or how he delivered it. And out of the blue, you're right. He made many changes at once. And we know humans don't like change, right? I was a teacher. Teachers are probably the least likers of change in history. So
it's not just humans,
right? Right.
It's animals. It's carbon-based life forms don't like change at a genetic level.
Yeah. And G Squared said, no, it's true. Yeah, it's true. G Squared says, but Dan, you trimmed back to your length while growing out to your length. Genetics aside, your beard is substantially thicker and healthier due to the trim. So here's the thing, though, G Squared. If we're being literal, my beard's not thicker and my beard's not healthier. Quite literally, there was nothing unhealthy about my beard yesterday as compared to today. I don't have split ends. I don't have knots. I never did. I never have.
This G-Squared's looking at the computer going like, that's not what I meant.
Well, we got to take words, right? Words matter.
And this is a great example. And I see where you're going, and I love it.
And this beard, here's the crazy thing, was here yesterday. I just removed some. My beard is not thicker. My beard is not more dense. My beard is literally exactly the same, just shorter. And so
like what I said when you first were like, have you noticed something? I'm like, well, a trim, and you're like a substantial one. And I'm like, so here's the thing. I'm like, it's crazy that like you say you took that much off, but because the visual illusion of it being thicker, it doesn't look that much shorter, you know?
Right.
That's the thing where I wasn't comparing the past to the current.
Yep.
Right. And at the same time, I was saying it looks good. It was a good decision. It didn't look bad before, but holy crap, it looks so good. It almost can't even tell there's any difference between how it looked good before.
And that's a perfect delivery. That doesn't take away from anything before. You're not like going over and beyond the top. So yeah, it
is. You gotta pay attention to that though.
Etiquette's interesting, and it dictates a lot.
It's how much tone though. Like
right.
One thing that
we will get to the topics, guys. I promise.
One thing that I will say on that real quick is when you're doing that, I will suggest to people that you should try not to do it through text message, because I think etiquette depends heavily on tone and inflection. I think like the amount of pressure behind your voice, the amount of strain that you have, or how long you draw out a certain word, or you deliver it with a abrupt period, or maybe a little bit of a drawn on with like a right at the end, you know, kind of thing. I think that can take something that's being delivered properly, and if read in a different tone, could mean something very different.
For sure. No, I agree. And that's kind of what exactly G Squared is like. My messages versus my YouTube comments. He does write novels. Like, I'll be honest, G Squared, when you write messages, I copy and paste your entire message. I put it into a note, and then I have my iPhone read it to me, because I can't read the whole thing while I'm like operating.
Yeah, I do that all the day. I love the screen dictation.
I live a very efficient and my days are, and so reading, you can only read. However, I can listen while doing stuff over here and stuff. So I double dip on that. But it perfectly illustrated what I was talking about there. Is just, again, to say that my beard is healthier, but it's not. That's the crazy thing. It's not. There was nothing unhealthy. So I know exactly what you mean, and perception and how it looks and that stuff. But it's interesting. It's very interesting. And all right, two things real quick before we get into them. Arden says, hey, Nick and Dan, I'll catch you after work. He's leaving for Mobile, probably Alabama for Baton Rouge. So he's going to the beard competition. Hope to see you there. I will be there. I fly into to New Orleans on Friday night, late Friday night. And then the competition's on Saturday. And then first thing Sunday, I'm flying back home. So yes, I will be in Baton Rouge on Saturday at Rally Cat Brewery for the beard competition. And I hope you guys, anybody that can be there would be there. And G Squared says, Dan, I got to say, I always wondered how you did it. Thank you for doing that. Some people don't even do that. Oh yeah. If you guys write me a message, I'm going to listen to every single one. There's no exceptions there. Sometimes I just can't read it, physically.
Yeah. If you write Dan something, he will read whatever you wrote him. I can safely promise you that.
Yep. I'm probably the most adamant person in my entire life at that. And
he's a freak of nature. He was one of nature's very own prototypes that should have never even been considered for mass production.
It just eats me alive if I feel like someone's waiting on something they sent me. So yeah, Randy, I don't think that one's going to be live streamed. No. And Greg, shout out to you, man. He says, kudos to your customer service team. I was missing something from my recent order. Within 20 minutes of sending my email, I had a shipping notice to fix it.
That's how we roll, Greg.
That's the Dr. Nick's difference right there, man.
That's what I like hearing right there, dude.
Yep. Awesome. And yeah, that's freaking awesome. And thank you for saying that.
Based on your formals there, I actually take back my dude comment. Sorry. That's how we roll here, sir.
Yeah. I think Greg's cool with dude. He's a cool guy, but
making sure. Give him respect is due.
And thank you for saying that, man. We have so many instances in life and business that so many of us have that are positive, and we never share any aspect of it. That's why I always tell you guys, reviews make a difference.
They do.
The customer service app that Dr. Nick's uses, they send you a rating afterwards where you guys can give a 1 to 5 star rating. You can write in just like a beard product review. You can review the customer service. So consider that. Obviously be honest and transparent on it, but that helps companies know. Nick,
that's how we grow.
Yeah. Nick can't do everything.
I can't read every email that comes into customer. I can't read everyone's responses to customer service. We got to manage it by exception. And that certainly helps.
Yep. Spot on. And JP says, sent Dan a message this week and got a lightning fast response. Yeah. Yep. No doubt. Yep. And Will got more body wash today. Let's go. I love that. Okay. Whoo, man. I didn't even think we had all that stuff to go over, but that's how.
Apparently we did.
Yeah, that's how the cookie crumbles. And it's like, none of this we've even chatted about. It's amazing. I hope you guys know you're an extension of Nick and I's conversations. We just block this off so we can talk. The only difference is we give you guys a window to listen.
That's literally it. I mean, this is someday that is going to happen. We're going to be on, there's going to be a Twitch channel that just has a pretty much constant live stream of me and Dan just kind of working together throughout the day, back and forth on things.
And it's going to be a lot of fun to have this, because stuff could go on and it's all right, we meant to talk this day, we meant to talk that day, and then life, family, business catches up, and it's
especially this past week, holy crap.
Right. But then we're we know we have Tuesday. No matter what, we've got Tuesday. Okay, let's get to Tuesday. And then we do. And so thank you guys for entertaining us with these window fireside chats.
Yeah, because I'm glad today is another random one where it's not a stump the chump challenge, because I might not make any sense today. I'm half delirious after this past week.
Trust me.
It makes this extra fun.
When you were what are we even going over this week? You have no idea the joy it brought me to be able to tell you Random Tangent Roulette Part 2, because I just knew that would put your mind at ease and just
I'm so happy right now.
Perfect. So yeah, that made me very happy. I appreciated that you asked that.
Good.
All right. You ready, dude?
Dude, I'm ready to roll.
let's hop in. And happy October, by the way, you guys. It is.
Happy October.
So yeah, Q4 officially.
Yeah.
Right.
Q4 is in the building.
Okay. Shout out to Q4. I did my quarterly taxes. Woo! Thanks, government. Yeah,
Yep.
that's so
Just
fun.
met with my new CPA yesterday. Yep. Shout out to Cody. Good dude.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. How this works, these are submitted topics quite literally by you guys. Nick did not put a single one. I did not put a single one in. Sam C did, however. So if you guys see one, she wouldn't even tell me what it was. Joke's on her. I got to see them. So I know who submitted them. So we'll see if you guys can figure out which one is from Sam C. If you guess it, I'm going to give you the Golden Star Ticket Bonus Award of the day. All right.
We get a Kill Tony golden ticket. Is that what happens?
Oh, yeah, but it's imaginary. So, yes. All right. But their golden ticket is they can come back and chat anytime they want on this show. So it's kind of like that one.
I'm reading through it here and like, okay. I almost already have a guess.
Okay. When we get to it, tell me, because I hope we can get to all these. I think
you want to know why. You want to know why you told me that when we get to it, you can tell me. It's because you can't read the whole thing on the spinning wheel, can you?
Let me see. Yes, you can read it.
Oh, crap. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
All right. No more narrowing it down. Nick's getting info out of him. He's good at that. He's good at that. And yes, I just had gloves on. Okay, nice. Yeah, it is Jill's month. Welcome to October and Halloween month, everybody. And Violet's, oh my gosh, just, oh God, the cutest ever. Jill, I've got some videos to send you to. The boys completely finished their Legos like that day. They're so dang cool, and they're working on the lanterns and really digging it. So yeah, they dug right into the Legos, and they were really cool, like complex ones.
I know which one it is.
Ooh, okay. All right. I will, Jill, for sure. I've got them saved and ready for you. All right, guys and girls, if you want to be a part of this the next time we do it, all of these were submitted through the Dr. Nick's Instagram account. Now, I will put a link in the chat to the Instagram account. Most of you are on there already, but in case you're not, check that out. I did take the exception of one. I believe it was Greg submitted through Facebook. I prefer the Instagram one, but I can make an exception for Greg. Hey, what's up, Dennis? And so we have all of these. Whenever we do this again, guys, tune into Instagram 24 hours before the show. I think I timed it out exactly. I set like a reminder for myself yesterday. Look at me. Look at Mr. Responsible. And so that's where these ones are at. If you guys want to get involved, do that. Hey, what's up, Nate? Welcome in, Mr. Johnny Ray. He was on Command's Corner last night. Shout out to Nate. Awesome here. All right. You ready, Nick?
Ready.
Let's do it. First topic that we are going to go over, my friends, is Scully caps versus ball caps.
Cool.
All right. Do you own a Scully cap, Nick?
Do not.
I do not either.
Nope.
So,
not one.
Community chat, give your thoughts, your perspectives. I'll start out. Okay.
So listen, I have thoughts, and I'll tell you what.
I do too.
Can I preface what you're going to say just with my quick disclaimer instead of taking a pass?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because normally I would pass on this one.
Yep.
I don't own one because my thoughts on them exclude me from being able to look good in them, I think. Okay. Whereas I wish I could, because I think there are people who look very good in them. I just don't think I'm one of them, right? So there is no negative thing in my brain as to why I like or dislike Scally caps. I think if I thought that I looked good in them, I would have one. That being said, go ahead,
true?
Because I have so many thoughts on them.
Is this the origin? Is Jill right here that Scully caps are for motorcycle helmets? Jamie, check, look it up. Google it.
She
Jamie.
said, okay, she's saying Scully caps, like skull caps, like helmets.
Oh,
like you have like the
those
little
are
helmets,
different.
like
These
called
are the
skull caps.
The
We're
Peaky
talking
Blinders.
Scally caps hats, and she knows that. She's just being a smartass.
Oh, okay. Yeah, these are the Peaky Blinders. Okay, so let me know here. Scally hats. Oh, okay, did I say Scully?
I might have said Scully. I don't know if she's making fun of you or me, but I can tell she's being a smartass.
Oh yeah, that's That's my bad here. Leo, I don't know. I've seen them interchangeably, the scally and the flat caps. And so I'll show you guys. Yeah, well, you guys know
Flat
the
caps
idea.
and scally cap.
So here are the negative stigmas of both. Scally caps have the negative stigma that you are chasing Peaky Blinders, and it is a trend, a fad, something that you're going after a certain like tough Irish style. That's one side. Ball caps is that you are trying to be more of a young kid, that you're trying to hold on to your innocence and your childhood, and it's like, again, wearing a cap backwards, and maybe you're holding on to your sports days, and you're trying to be the coach living through your kid, right? Those are the negative stigmas. Now, I don't care about those things.
Nope.
For me, I have tried a scally cap. My head is very large, and I just don't think it looks good on me. However, I would have never in a million years thought a cowboy hat looks good on me, and now I love it. And so I need to, my thoughts, I need to stretch my comfort zone. I have a lot of ball caps, but I need to stretch my comfort zone and try that. If I have, here's my last thing. I don't wear outfits that go with scally caps. I wear t-shirts and shorts. I wear
athletic t-shirts and shorts too.
Exactly. Athletic
not like
t-shirts.
You're wearing like hiking, like it's not like you're not wearing like Dickies,
right?
With like a chain wallet and like and you know what I mean, and like a flannel. It's just like you don't wear stuff that goes with it. I do wear stuff that goes with it, and I still don't look good in them. And you know, I think honestly, the head size thing that you said, I think is a good point, because I think they intentionally stopped making fitted scally caps past a certain size because we're not supposed to wear them.
Right. Yeah, and like you said, I don't wear flannels. I don't wear that kind of stuff. And Leo says, I disagree. Well, Leo, it's not a disagree or agree situation. I'm talking about stigmas and stereotypes. To say that there's not a stigma about scally caps and Peaky Blinders, you would be wrong. It is absolutely, it could be generational, but if we were to
he was saying though, what Leo's saying is that he wore them before there was a stigma or like a thing. But which Leo, you had the benefit of being able to wear a scally cap before there was those stigmas. Unfortunately, we are generationally challenged, I'll say, in that respect.
Exactly. That's the thing with stigmas.
Is that an appropriate way to say that? I think.
Yeah, I think so. Generation there, but that's
generationally challenged.
Are stigmas correct? Normally, no. You know, there's a whole lot of no to it.
Yeah, they come from somewhere.
But there's usually a kernel. Are there guys running around watching Peaky Blinders and getting hats because of that show?
They're
obviously that's how the world works. So,
wish I had an accent.
Yeah. If you were to ask most people within 20 years plus or minus of me, hey, scally caps, and you show a picture, what is your association? It's 100% Peaky Blinders. You know, it's 100%. It's just how things get associated, you know, and for right or wrong. And so, it doesn't mean that that's why people did it. But exactly, Jason said he bought his before he watched it. Yeah, no doubt, man. They always got it in the picture,
and it looks good on you. Yeah. And see, that's like a variation of a scally too, because it's even
like bigger
on the top. Yeah.
So
it's like a French version of a scally.
So like Greg said in here, he goes, try a bigger 8-panel. What would that be? Because that's the thing too. Like Leo brought up, flat cap, scally cap, like 8-panel.
Oh boy.
There's a whole bunch of like similar.
Jill, baby, you never watched Peaky Blinders? The show's awesome.
It's intense.
Oh, that show's really good.
And there's some, like, if you want to feel like a bad mother trucker, you watch Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, I watched it on. You know what is funny? I watched that whole series almost while I was traveling. Like I'd have it downloaded, but I watched it like on planes. And whenever I got to where I was going, I always felt like such a BA.
Yeah, exactly. You do. You walk a little bit taller. You really do. You're ready to like.
You looking at me? Gang. Why?
Right. So Greg says that's what I was talking about. Jason confirmed it is an 8-panel. So I would bunch most of those together. And Leo says I prefer a flat cap and a narrow brim hat to get through crowded places. That makes sense. I can see that because I think I mentioned it last week. The one downfall with the cowboy hat is I do hit some stuff on the side of that thing and not realize it.
Oh yeah, you gotta readjust your spatial awareness.
And then there's Boston. Is Boston a brand? Is it a style?
No,
Is
they're
that
just different.
okay? See, I know a lot about these hats. And that's
Boston has our own version of everything, just so you know. So it's like everyone
okay.
else's is wrong, and they have theirs, right?
Okay. Yeah, right.
The way it works.
And Leo says Village Hat Shops has a great tutorial on hats and caps. Okay. We'll have to check that out. Jacob wears 8 and 6 panel hats. Okay. Greg can't wear small brims. They look bad on him. And so, Greg, question for you. Greg has gone through a weight loss journey and he's lost like something like 50 pounds and his beard has transformed along that journey. Greg, did you notice a difference with the hats you can wear and cannot wear with weight gain and weight loss? I bet you there's an association there because I have different hats that look good on me when I have a fresh haircut as compared to a grown out haircut. Nick, I know you can't relate. I'm sorry about that, but they they change the way they look based on that. But also, as my face structure changed with losing weight, he's gone. As my face structure has changed with losing weight, hats look different on me. So I wonder if this seems like it would be very particular.
I bet you're right. I used to not look good in hats at all when I was
Me either.
No, I used to look really bad in hats. Like so this is funny. This is kind of a good one. So I didn't own a hat until I want to say like 2010, maybe 2012.
Okay.
I didn't own a hat. Like,
Nick, pause. The first time in my entire life I wore a hat was quite literally 2012.
Are you serious?
The first time I wore sunglasses in my life was 2012. Why?
Wow.
I started dating Sam and she had me go into those. And that's not even like, oh, it could be that it was 2012, my first time wearing sunglasses and a hat like that.
See, that's funny. I go back and like, I think I can't find a picture of me before Jack was born, for example, with a hat on. And I think the first hat I got was probably, shortly after he was born, probably in 2012.
Crazy.
That'd be weird.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Weird. We really do have like a parallel universe thing happening.
That's why I was like, I don't want to cut him off, but that's
Hold
really
the
weird.
phone.
Yeah. 2012, sunglasses and hat, my first time. And now I look back, I'm like, what did I do?
You think if I drink this yerba mate on camera enough, we can send screenshots of it to Guayaki and have them send me delicious yerba mate enlightened mint tea when I'm thirsty in the morning and I've had too much coffee? Guayaki organic yerba mate enlightened mint tea is what I reach for in the fridge.
I think you just had to say it one more time and then it's in.
So Guayaki organic yerba mate enlightened mint tea is a way to invigorate your taste buds without making you shaky or have any of the nasty side effects of too much caffeine in the afternoon.
Run it. I think that was good 3 times. It's like Beetlejuice.
Drink yerba mate. It's good for you.
Oh my God. 4. Now we're in. All right, here we go.
I'm going to invoice them.
Ridiculous.
They are no way a sponsor. I'm going to send them an invoice tomorrow.
Ooh, I forgot who submitted this one, but this was a good one. This may have been Greg. Actually. I think it was. All right. Smash burgers versus like the juicy gourmet type burgers. Thoughts, feelings, experiences.
Smash burger. Don't like cheeseburgers in general very often, but when I do, it's going to be a smash style burger. Now, is that going to be from a smash burger? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking In-N-Out burger. That's a smash burger, right? We're talking flat top griddle, spatula on that damn thing until there's no red left in it, and you eat it. And you can eat it without things dripping down your arm. You can eat it in your lap. You can eat it in a car. You can eat it on a plane. Eat it on a train. Doesn't matter. Eat that smash burger anywhere, and you don't have crap all over the place. And you don't have to argue with people about whether the temperature is right or not. So, dude, smash burger all the way.
You just dropped like a rap verse and like did it eloquently. What are you drinking, Nick? Because it seems like your brain is firing at a high level.
You know, sometimes I feel a little foggy early in the afternoon. And when I do, I reach for Guayaki yerba mate, enlightened mint tea to help get my mental clarity back to where I want it.
Enlightenment. What a name.
Enlightenment is what it's called, Dan.
That's
and
correct.
It's organic yerba mate.
Now, I needed to explain my sarcasm last night to a few people not getting it. I would also like to explain Nick's sarcasm, you guys. This is not sponsored. This is not an ad. He is not paid for this. It is satire, but I love it so much.
Oh yeah, it's completely satiristic. Guayaki, I don't even know if that's how you say the name because they're so unofficially not involved in this show at all. But I'd love for them to be, and you know what, I can probably grab their attention by back billing them now $1,000 each time I said their name today, and they'll say we're not paying that, and I said, well, would you like to?
There might be someone that's like, oh shoot, I guess we need to pay this.
Yeah, there might be someone in accounts receivable where I don't put a PO number, and they're just like, we got lots of influencers, I guess.
Yep, and he's got a big beard that checks out.
Yes,
and
that checks
Walter
out.
says that was poetry, which I agree. I thought it was rap lyrics, but poetry works too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You
so
know?
for me, this one's simple. I am with the chat. We had 2/3 of the chat picked smash burgers. 1/3 of the chat around picked juicy. I'm a smash burger guy as well. If I need more meat and patties, throw 3 smash burgers on it. I'm fine.
Throw
with
3
that.
of them on there.
Yeah. Cheese in
Give me
between all of them.
Big
please.
old stack of them.
If I'm gonna do it, let me do it.
Yeah,
you know?
put mac sauce in the middle of each one of those layers too.
Right, now you cross the line. Now you cross the line. That's too much, Nick. That's your old self coming out there.
It was. Oh man, he's in there. Just everyone can just thank their lucky stars it wasn't Rick. Like that was just fat Nick. There wasn't Rick involved in any of that. Like that was
100%.
You guys should be counting. You should feel very lucky.
And do you know what goes well with smash burgers?
Fries?
No.
What?
Enlightenment.
Instead of getting a soda, whenever I get a smash burger, I like to lessen my caloric intake and also invigorate my brain in a way that just isn't possible with a regular drink. So I go for yerba mate enlightenment tea.
Man has a way with his words and a way to my heart.
You know what? The way to most people's hearts is with words.
Or enlightenment.
Or Guayaki yerba mate enlightenment tea.
All right, how many people are like, all right, no, I forgot.
Don't say that because then there's a whole lot more where that's coming.
Julie is sold.
Mom, you would actually really appreciate yerba mate enlightenment tea.
Oh, gosh. All right. A beard competition intro. Somebody submitted that they are going to a beard competition for the first time and they would like an introduction. Nick, as someone that just went to their first beard competition, happened to be the largest in the United States, happened to be a national champion, but set those aside. Somebody that is nervous, somebody that doesn't know the vibes, even if they're not nervous, they're just inquisitive. What can they and should they expect?
Okay. So I have a question. I have a clarifying question. Is the person that submitted this in the chat?
I haven't seen them yet. No.
Okay. So we're going to have to answer it in 2 ways unless someone jumps in and clarifies, or unless you have more info. They're going to their first beard competition.
Yep.
Are they looking for like intro? Like what do they say when they get on stage at the beard competition? Or are they saying like, give me an intro of what to expect?
That.
Okay. All right. And this is
they're thinking they're going to walk through the door. Music stops. Everybody turns and stares at them. You're not supposed to be. You're new here. I smell it.
Your beard's not cool enough.
Exactly.
So expect the opposite of that. If we're considering brevity, 100% not that, right?
Yep.
If I had to give you a beard intro, first of all, I will say that 75% of the people there are also wondering what to do at their first or second or third beard competition. Maybe not 70, at least half, right?
Yeah.
People there are also wondering what to expect because they've been to one or they've been to a couple. The group that you expect to be there is probably actually 20 different groups, right? That all kind of know each other, and it's a bunch of small groups probably. Yep. And what I will say though is that I think there's probably of the people who are there like at every single competition and who know exactly what to expect and know all the people that are there and know all the vendors. That's like 10% of the people that are there. So don't think you're walking into like this exclusive thing at like the Elks Club, you know, or all of a sudden it's like a bunch of like everyone's going to know you're a newcomer and they're all texting each other about you because they know each other. They don't. And so beyond that, getting that out of the way, it's welcoming. Like everyone's there because they want to be there, and everyone's there because they want to be around other people. Guess what? Like you, they want to meet new people. That's why people are there.
Yep.
And they don't know you, so you're one of the people that they're there to meet.
Yep.
Like that's what you got to keep in mind. Like people are literally there to meet like-minded people, and guess what? You're one of those like-minded people. So like everyone there is your potential new best friend. Like you have no idea the people that you're going to meet there. And but what you can expect is, if you're not nervous walking into a restaurant or a bar or a football game, then you can't be nervous walking into this, because I can guarantee you only 2% of the people at a football game are like-minded people, because you don't know them and they're not there for the same reason you are, except for football.
Yep.
Everyone that's at the beard competition has the same thing on their face that you do. So one, you're not going to hear, holy crap, you look like ZZ Top even once.
So true.
You're also going to be around people who literally all have something in common with you.
God dang, dude. So you've been to one. I've been to 16 now, 16 comps that I've judged. And I'm not kidding. This isn't a plug for that drink. Your brain is firing on high cylinders today because you like connected dots that I didn't know how to connect. And you're so right. If you are not nervous to walk into a restaurant or a football game, you shouldn't be nervous to walk in here. Everybody's there signing up for a social gathering. They're there because they want to meet other people. They want to have great conversations. And most of them are probably as nervous as you. And so it's like a relief. So yes, way to say it, Nick. That was perfect.
Dude,
perfect.
Right on.
Thank you, dude. You helped me. Actually, that's awesome. I
think I helped myself.
I love that. That was so well said. Okay, next one. Old people drivers. Old people drivers. And of course, and this was their language, not mine. Old people drivers here. Of course, we have all sorts of types of drivers, right? Most people would think that in your Jill, you guys can message Sam right now and say, what question did Sam submit? It was her topic. It is this one. And she did not tell me until I pulled up the Instagram to be able to get to it. Yes, Jill, you won. You are quite actually correct.
That's
you are quite
fantastic.
Actually correct. Okay. So
we're not talking about you, Jake.
Right. And
we're not talking about Leo. We're not talking about Jake. We're talking Sam's talking about people who you know and we all know damn well should be taking a yearly requalification road test. Not a vision test, not a hearing test. It's going to be extremely inconvenient. And you know what? I'm sorry. And it's going to take a lot of time away from the DMV. Like, guess what? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
You know, it's gonna be a lot of someone's gonna need to take a 2-hour break out of their day from doing whatever it is that they're doing in their golden years. And you know what? I'm sorry. I'm super duper sorry. And some people are gonna pass that test with flying colors until they're 100. And some people are gonna fail that test miserably at 85.
Yep.
Like some much sooner. Like my dad shouldn't have been driving past 75.
My grandpa. What I feared every time he left the house because he couldn't walk, he couldn't function, he had zero reaction ability, and he was a pro athlete his whole life, which obviously probably put away his brain and his body and stuff. He could not function walking, and he got behind a vehicle that would go very, very fast. And we had our homecoming was on Friday. There was a 7-year-old boy in the parking lot of the football game, ran over by a elderly driver. And
well, let's not forget that I'm driving a rental car right now because my car got T-boned and totaled about, a month or two ago by an elderly driver.
Yeah. Yep. And Leo,
who literally said, I don't know why I did that.
And that's the thing. It's the reaction. I mean, human biology is not a mystery. We understand what happens with age. Now, are there bad drivers across all ages? Absolutely.
Yes.
Are 16-year-olds bad drivers? Usually,
terrible.
Yes. Usually, yes. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But there is a specific avenue for, if we're talking generalities, right? I always have to say, right, we talk about kind of the rule, the majority. There's always exceptions. As we age, as we get into our 80s, as we get into our 90s, your reaction time is not as fast as your 30s and 40s. That's just facts. That's just true. Reactions are a major part of driving. And that's why we have laws against impaired drivers. That's why we have laws against even like if you're a professional driver, you can only drive for a set amount of hours because of sleepiness, and that affects your reactions. And so there is a reality that we have to talk about, even when it's uncomfortable. And it's stuff like with age, different things kind of go down in time. And here's an interesting thought. Leo says, what about old people as a category of computer tech users? I think that's more so a learning thing, right? Kids today can whip up a laptop and an iPad like you wouldn't believe, because as their brain was functioning and forming, they formed with it, and it's, if you grew up without tech, if you grew up without internet, it's not quite as easy to get your body firing in that way.
Yeah. And I'm not entirely sure what you mean with that one, Leo. Like, I guess what I'm saying is I live across the street from a seniors center, a seniors home. If you get out of our neighborhood and you look across, there's a big nature preserve and some woods. Right next to that is a senior center, and it is a residence. And I've got to tell you, I did not have this opinion, before I lived here and before getting, my car T-boned and totaled by someone who definitely shouldn't have been driving. Is the newest, it's in my head anyway, like, I see people pull out of there and the look on some of their faces is like, so what is this? What am I doing here? Okay. Like, they pull out, man. And you can see like people that come over to our house, they're like, oh dude, they're like, I slow down at the top of that hill because I know I have a pretty good chance to running in the back of someone going 10 miles an hour on your 45 mile an hour street.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, 9 out of 10 cars pulling out of CVS, I have to worry about if they actually know where they are right now. And I can tell you it's 9 out of 10 that I see pulling out of that place.
Yep. And with that doesn't mean other things can also be true. With that, It doesn't mean that kids don't drive through parking lots like crazy. This isn't saying that it's the worst, but those observations are true. It doesn't mean that it's not true. And I know people get defensive when we think about our grandparents, or maybe if they're in the age, like, those can all be true, and it's like, it is a bummer. And slow driving absolutely can be dangerous driving, absolutely. So yeah, used to be called a guru. That's awesome, Leo. Yeah, that's awesome, man. You say started at age 37, used to be called a guru. Love that, dude. That's amazing. I bet you that's helped in many, many ways. All right, Nick, I'm taking your executive order and putting it into action.
Do it.
DC versus Marvel. Guys, I'll tell you right now, I couldn't name 5 DC characters.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, right now, if you made me, I can say Spider-Man, right?
Nope.
No, okay, there we go. Literally, I have no idea. This is not my world.
Okay, let's do this a different way. Stop trying to think Marvel or DC. Name me your top 5 favorite comic, or your top 5 favorite superheroes.
So Superman,
DC,
Spider-Man, Batman,
Marvel. DC.
And then I know all the Marvel people. So that one's not fair because of the modern Marvel movies. I know Thor, I know Captain America, I know that side of things. Tell me DC ones. So like,
so Superman, Batman, we have, of course, obviously because of Superman, Wonder Woman. So like that whole universe exists in DC. Every single thing that's come out of the Batman universe also exists in the DC world.
Okay. So like Joker and stuff. Okay.
All of that stuff. Okay. Yeah. Like and then, in my mind though, so here's the thing. If you asked me, but like the Flash, the Green Lantern, I think the Green Lantern, right? Yeah, that's DC. I always want to say Hulk, but I've been told so many times that I'm wrong, and Hulk's Marvel. But I guess where I'm at is I think like my favorites from like a franchise standpoint live on the DC side of the house. So I would have to say DC Comics. I think someone else. Oh, and from a villain standpoint, DC villains are, no one's ever villained like so the Green Goblin, fine. Like Spider-Man, yeah, that's great. And I guess if you ask me, like, what's my favorite from Marvel? Spider-Man. Who else is going to, unless you start looking at things like like X-Men, right? Which combine a bunch of things where you got like Wolverine and all this kind of stuff that live on the Marvel side of the house. And I mean, like X-Men's a great franchise, right? And someone else here said right there, Walter, Marvel movies, DC comics. Yeah, I think Marvel movies definitely have the edge over DC movies with the exception of Batman.
Spider-Man's so good though, like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's great, but you can't tell me though, from like a start to finish, talking 1980s through
That's Marvel. Gotcha.
1980s through now, I don't think there's a better comic book based series ever created than the Batman series of movies. I think you look at the people who have played Batman and you look at the things that have come out and the people who have played Joker, the people who have played Batman, and the from badass to emotional to dramatic side of how they've portrayed Batman and Gotham and everything else. Like, what I can say, I think safely here, I'll end it with this on my opinion. So me, DC, because that's where Batman is. And, you know, come on. And so
look at right there.
Oh yeah, you got to have the little minifig Batman. He's in there. Boom. Here we go. But here's the thing for me. I think if there is a comic or a DC or Marvel generated series of content like movies that spans more boundaries than any other superhero based movie, it would have to be Batman. Like, you don't have to be into Batman to watch one of those movies and think it's just a good, well done, dramatic movie, right? Like, you have to, like, you look at someone, I think it spans more ages too. I mean, because you look at the people who have played Batman, right? And so I think it's like Bond. I think if you look at James Bond and you look at him in like the movie hero world, right? I think that spans more categories of audiences than a lot of other like villain, good guy based movies do, because of the years that it's been created and the amount of topics that it hits. And I think Batman's kind of the same way. So as far as like biggest reach, don't have to be a fan to enjoy the movies, I give that to DC.
Interesting. So I had I guess a weird upbringing, because I never watched like fiction. I never read fiction. I never did comics. I never watched movies. I didn't watch cartoons. All the way to like 5th grade, I would watch documentaries. I would watch sports. I watched, like, in my eyes, real things. Not in a, like, I didn't take shots or think anything bad. I just didn't grow up watching TV or reading comics or anything. So this is so outside of any kind of knowledge that I have. And I feel like an outsider in most cases, because most people relate to this stuff. I just don't. Like, there's people you guys
I wasn't
are
a comic book kid either.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Nope, I wasn't a comic book kid, and I was a bit of a cartoon kid. I was more movies, like,
and it was more movies either.
It was the movies my brother was watching, and we had, like, back in the day, we had like one of those old satellite dishes that actually like turned and looked at different satellites in the yard, and so we had like just straight movie channels. I think I just watched that like constantly. I was a movie kid more than anything. I think
I was and still am a severe ADHD kid, and my parents never would acknowledge it. And so I couldn't sit through movies. The only way I can sit through movies now is with the help of something, something from nature to help me to sit and watch something. I can do it then. Otherwise, people are like, how are you so busy all the time? It's the only way my brain calms. I'm calm when I work. And so
same. Yeah. That's the only time I get mental clarity and quiet is when I'm like sitting there focused on something and busy.
Yeah.
To hit G squared. Angel though. Yes. Dark Knight is one of the best movies ever created. I mean, it's an amazing film. It's an awesome movie. Like,
unbelievable.
Yep, Heath Ledger as Joker. He's a standout.
Yes. All right, real quick, I want to see if we can hit this here, because I want to get one. I forgot who submitted this. If this was you, please. All right, I'm just going to see if I. Nope. All right, it's going to take too long. All right, the one I wanted to get to is Affect. Oh, this one was Max. He thought that. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that one.
Pulling
Right.
versus lifting with your beard.
Not that one. Not that one. But real quick, because we do have to go. But I just had a like prolific thought, and if this was you, please put it in the chat. But it was affect versus affect, right? A versus E when you use words.
I love that one.
I had a revelation. Most of my learning has been auditory. I learned through hearing. I listen to podcasts. When G Squared writes me a novel, I would much rather have it speak to me. I communicate for a living, always have. That's the crazy thing. Teaching, coaching,
Verbally.
YouTube. Wow. Everything for me is audio. Everything for me is ears and mouth, not as much eyes. When I learn, there's small blips on the radar that go through my cracks of expertise, especially with communication. And I've adapted over the years by avoiding certain words and terms because I don't know how to correctly use them. I will learn the rule, but then I play this vicious cycle of learning the rule, doubting the rule, learning the rule, doubting the rule. And
you have to get a mnemonic device for each thing or else it doesn't work. I'm the same way. Like I will logic my way out of understanding something.
Always. So this is one of them. You guys will likely never hear me say affect or affect because I don't know how to properly use it. You also will likely never hear me or see me type. It's very rare. I had this come up today anytime because I'm like, I don't know the rule when it's any space time or any time. And I walk through these things because
speaking of an option of time versus a listing of any time. Yeah,
exactly.
I have the easiest way. I've used affect versus effect. Like I used the same thing for like the past 20 years to remember that since someone told it to me.
Hit us. What is it?
You want to hear mine?
Yeah. I want to go over affect, but I just wanted that revelation real quick for those of you to learn how my brain works and how maybe you learn in unique ways and how you compensate and make it work for you. You're not alone because that's me. Is the challenges with being an audio learner is very different than a visual learner, which then impacts their communication. It's a whole thing. But yes, affect versus effect.
So the way that obviously the proper delineation is affect with an E as a verb, right? So if you keep that in mind, but that's hard to remember. But the way that I always remember it, and there's one that like for some reason you hear mnemonic devices and some of them stick with you and then some don't, right?
Yes.
The sharp edge of the knife affected the skin and the effect was painful.
All right, one more time.
The sharp edge of the knife affected the skin by cutting it, and the effect of that was painful.
Okay, so that's what I thought.
The effect is the noun with the A, and the effect is the action of causing something. So like
before and after.
Yeah, like the dart affected the balloon and the noise. The effect was a loud noise, right? So like the dart affected the balloon's surface, and the effect of that was a loud pop.
So A going in, E coming out.
No. E is the verb. So you're doing something with the E.
Nope, I'm never gonna get it.
So edge of the knife, E. The edge, E of the knife affected E, the skin. The effect afterwards was painful. So effect afterwards, A and A. The edge of the knife affected the surface of the skin, E and E.
Man, it's a curse to know myself really well because this is one I'm not going to get. It's one, but again, I'm not usually grammatically incorrect because I just don't use it. I avoid it entirely because you can say impact, for example, and have the same effect.
With an E.
Right.
No, sorry, with an A. That'd be with the same effect with an A.
Yes. Yeah. And Leo says, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Beards and using words both are things you do. Yeah, no, Leo, and I don't want that mistaken. I'm very proud of the way I use words. I understand my reason of why I think a certain way. I understand why I have certain challenges, but I'm very proud of how I overcome and adjust. I don't think that there's anything wrong with changing the sentence when you have the same delivery, the same outcome to fit your vocabulary and your needs. I think it's actually better than someone trying to force it and fake it. We all know what that sounds like when people use buzz terms and they use words. So no, Leo, you're right. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. I love the way I do that. I shared it in a transparent way so people can hopefully relate to it and understand and be like, oh my gosh, I do that on this. I do that on that. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually think that's a next level of communication and understanding of self-awareness. So yeah, no, I agree. I entirely agree with that one, Leo. It's it's interesting. Yep, it's interesting. Some people pronounce the word, and I think that's on purpose. I think people have brought the pronunciation of them together because they don't want you calling them out.
My two favorite words.
Right, they don't want you calling out. It's like when you don't know somebody's name, you're like, "Hey, what's up, Steve?" And you just kind of, "What up, Steve? What up, Adam?" Adam? And you kind of mute it. If you want to know if somebody's not confident in what they say, the end of the sentence or the word tails off.
Oh yeah,
they're trying to get away with it. They're trying to get away with it. So I think you're right. I think people do say it the same way because they don't know which way to say it. I think that's true.
That is it's totally true. It's like my two favorites that Jill says that I say the same way. And it's literally because when someone says them, I can't hear the difference. Like, I'm like, okay, say both really quick. Let's hear if you sound the same. And they say it, and I'm like, I can't tell the difference.
All right, which two?
The female version of the word Aaron versus the male version of the word Aaron. I can't hear the difference between, I think in my head, I'm saying two different things when I say Aaron versus Aaron.
There's
and
two
Jill's like, nope, those sound the same.
Wait, what?
So like, if I say I have two friends, a boy and a girl, their names are Aaron and Aaron. She says I sound the exact same when I say Aaron versus Aaron.
I did not know there was a difference.
So like, and then she's like, and I'm like, you sound the same when you say them too. Say them. And she's like, Aaron, Aaron. And I'm like, those sounded the same. And then she's like, no, one sounds like Aaron and one sounds like Aaron. And I'm like, right, those sounded exactly the same.
I did not know.
Like, nope, I sound different. You sound the same.
I would see those names and they are the same sound to me.
To me, Aaron versus Aaron.
There's no difference. There's no practical difference.
No difference.
No way. Nope, I'll die on that hill.
Jill has been slowly and very decisively, and I think very effectively, I might add, trying to drive me crazy.
See, I don't think this one is
5 years.
I have friends that are males. I don't think that the male version is Aaron. No.
They all say Aaron.
They say Aaron. Yeah. And I taught for 12 years. I coached for 16, had many. I've never had someone say Aaron. No way.
No and way. That's the thing is it's so subtle. And when someone that claims to say them differently, if it wasn't 10 minutes, if it wasn't 12 minutes over, I'd be calling Jill upstairs right now. I'd be like, say it into the camera, but don't do that now. We're going to save that for next week. And the topic of discussion is when words sound the same, but are different.
Okay.
Kidding.
You're overemphasizing. Well, it's how it's broken down. I mean, it's literally.
Well, of course, you're trying to phonetically break it down. No one's going to say my name is Aaron.
Right.
Okay. But when they say it quickly, when you have in your head Aaron and you say Aaron.
All right, let me try one more time here. Female.
Yep.
Aaron.
Sounded like ERIN to me.
Okay, that's what I'm going with. Yep, and I'm actually trying here. Male. Aaron. Oh, wait, no, okay, let me try it. Male.
Sounded the same.
I know, all right, let me get this. Male. Aaron.
Nope.
No,
see, you're over.
I can't do it without overemphasizing.
You're breaking it by fixing it. Is what you're doing. Yeah. See, this is why, guys. This is why everyone that's in here needs to volley us up for a much longer stream that's sponsored by someone that'll pay us to do it so we can afford it.
Because time's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, because we got to like pay the bills and stuff. But like this kind of thing, like why aren't we talking about this? Is what matters in life. Like this is what we should be talking all day. Is how you sound like an idiot without even knowing it, like all the time to everybody that I know.
See, I don't like that because
I didn't know that.
I'm gonna be thinking about that. I have never heard there's a difference or thought there's a difference between those two. Ever.
Nope. Live with Jill, you know?
Wow. Now you guys are messing with my head because I know Aaron's.
You hear this? You hearing this?
Now I'm not going to feel confident when I see this guy who's kind of a jerk. I actually called him out last week at soccer because he was just a prick, and his name's Aaron.
Yeah. And now you're going to have
say it the female way.
One more reason to not want to see him now.
I'm going to say it the female way to him. What's up, Aaron?
Yeah. What's up, Aaron?
Interesting.
I'm Aaron. No, you're not. Not anymore, you're not.
So, Randy, this would be a joke one. Scuba says jojoba, or no, he says jojoba. That's just wrong. It's jojoba is the pronunciation.
Right, jojoba. I love when people like my buddy who he does it on accident though. I think I was telling you about it. He was we were at that Mexican place that I took you to, and he asked for his tacos with no pico de gallo on them.
Oh yeah, he was joking though, right?
He was not joking.
Oh man.
And he's a professional painter. And when things get like a nice finish to them, he says they have a really nice petunia.
Oh, patina?
Yeah.
Nice.
So now whenever I see something, I'm like, oh, I really like the petunia on that.
This is so funny. We got to go. But last night with Johnny Ray's, they have crazy carrier ones on there, and I pronounce them, and I make like a big show where I'm like, I'm going to pronounce these accurately, and I try to be like ridiculous, like tell people like you're going to feel bad about yourselves because you don't know how to pronounce things correctly. And then I say like mongo, bongo, bongo, gongo, bongo, and then like at some point, a small sliver of people are like, huh, I did not know that. And I'm like, guys, I'm joking. This is a joke. I do the same with Cajun. I know it's Cajun. I do the same with jalapenos. I know it's jalapenos. Like, but then some people that's the danger of a joke. Some people take it and go.
It's dangerous. That's a slippery slope, my friend.
Yeah, Scuba knows it's not jojoba, but he does it because you guys comment on it, and it becomes a thing. You know, it's so funny.
Well, once it bugs somebody, then you're definitely going to do more of it.
Ooh, I know. That's Aaron. He's done.
He's now getting it.
Yeah, he's getting it.
If there is an audible difference, he's going to hear it.
Yep. I'm going to and now, how do you say it without overemphasizing now, Jill? How is it possible to not overemphasize?
Yeah. No, who knows? She's gonna mess with you now. And
avocado.
Avocado.
That's good. All right, guys. We will be back next week. We gotta go. I got a 2:30 meeting. Nick has every meeting in the world for the rest of the day. But other than that, you guys, it's one thing to think someone like Scuba is a joke. Yeah, when he isn't. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Leo. But other than that, guys, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much we value this, how much we need this. This was so freaking fun. Brain workout, but just also my cheeks are hurting from smiling and laughing. Thank you. We'll be here next week. We're going to talk about fall, beard season, what's to come, beard products. What questions do you have? Let's dive into Dr. Nick's, the company, whatever you guys got. Bring it there, everybody. And get AA Ron out of here. Nick, final words.
Dude, listen, episode 110 coming at you next week, October 8th. It's going to be awesome. Same time, 1 o'clock. No changes next week. And then we got to do something cool the week after that, because we have on the 15th, we have episode 111. So we got episode 111 coming up. That's always a fun one to mess with. We got to do
will be fun.
Do something stupid and fun for that one. But anyway, until then, we'll see you for episode 110 next week. And keep sending in these things when Dan puts them out there, because we're gonna do at least one wheel spin every damn episode. Now we have to.
Yeah, or dedicated like 2 a month, like full episodes.
I love the dedicated 2 a month, but I don't know, man. I think it's like a good icebreaker for any. But I mean, then again, we have a hard time getting to topics as it is. So I don't know. I just like it too much, and I think
love it.
Who knows? Maybe we do a whole other thing. It's called Stump the Chump, where we have people in the world submit topics, and I have to talk about them intelligently for 60 seconds, or I have to pay them. Let's like do some kind of giveaway contest where like you got to stump me on something. I want to do it.
The wheels are going. I like it.
Yeah. Let's think about it.
All right, guys. We will see you next